Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is my garlic bed. And if you remember, last October I planted a bunch of music hardneck garlic, which is my favorite garlic, but I had a change of plans, as often happens during the winter time when I've had time to think about things. And I decided that I need to move all of this garlic right now over to another bed because I have big plans for this bed. But we won't get into that just yet. But I wanted to move this, and now is a perfect time to do it. It's growing great, but I need to get it out of here and transplant it to a bed that I've already prepared. Let me show you where it's gonna go. And this bed, I shouldn't say it's already prepared. I covered it weeks ago with some black plastic just to warm up the soil a little bit. And this is the little bed where all that garlic's gonna go. But I do need to top it off with some soil and some compost and a little bit of organic fertilizer. And I'm gonna be using this product here. So I have partnered with True this year. I started experimenting with True organic fertilizers last year. Absolutely loved the outcome, and I decided to switch to it entirely. True Organic is the only organic fertilizer company that is certified food safe, so that's why I switched to it. So I want to make sure that my fertilizer, anything that I put in my garden, is as pathogen free as I possibly can. So True fits the bill for that, and I'm going to be using their raised bed fertilizer for this because I like to replenish the soil a little bit too. So not only with the compost, but with some fertilizer. With what is the ratio? The analysis on this is a 6-3-6. So it's 6% nitrogen, 3% phosphorus, and 6% potash. And nitrogen is always in flux in a bed, so you like to replenish it, especially where I've grown in it last year, so all of that nitrogen's been sucked out of it. So adding a little bit of organic fertilizer and some compost back to the soil really helps to replenish it and get it ready to grow a great garden this year. All right, I'm gonna start digging those things up and moving them here, but first I should uncover this. Actually, before I start digging up, I'm gonna get this totally prepared. I'm gonna take the tarp off this, and all this did is help kind of warm the soil up just a little bit. And I'm gonna take it off and add in a little bit of soil to top it off. And the key to successful growing in early spring is soil warm. It's not so much the air temperature as it is soil temperature when you're getting those seeds started. I'm not putting in seeds in this bed, it's just gonna be those garlic bulbs that have already put up about 4 or 5 inches of top growth. Oh, it's really nice too. But you can see the soil level has sunk a little bit, and the base layer of this was kitchen scraps and everything, so a lot of it, it's probably sunk down another 4 inches. As things decompose, the soil sinks, and I like to top it off just to bring that soil level up ever so slightly. Boy, that's beautiful stuff. Look at that. All right, I've got my soil in, and now I want to mix in some of the raised bed fertilizer. And the recommendation is 3/4 of a cup per square foot of garden space for new plants. So I'm considering these new plants. So I'm gonna do this about 6 square feet here. So I'm gonna do about 4.5 cups in this space and then work it in pretty deeply. My bed's prepared, and now for the fun part. I gotta dig these guys up. And what I wanna do is make sure that I leave as much of that root ball intact around each plant. And I've got about, I'd say 5 to 6 inches of growth on these plants. And right now is about, if I were to leave these guys in place, right now is about the time I'd start removing some of the leaf mulch that I put on here. And that was simply put down to kind of regulate any soil temperature fluctuations that would happen when we've got, warmer days in the wintertime and cold days. And it just helps keep that soil as normal as possible. So I'd be removing some of this now anyway. I'm gonna save some of this leaf matter and use it to top the bed once I get these transplanted. But for right now, I'm gonna get all these guys up with as much of the root ball intact as possible and transplant them. I've got this beautiful tray of hardneck music garlic that's ready to go into this newly prepared bed. And all I'm going to do is plant them at the same depth they were at in the other bed. So that's going to be about almost up to where the white starts on this plant. Get them in the soil, and in my experience, when you plant them too close, and I've got other videos, you can go back, I'll link to those videos below on how to plant garlic, but you want to, if you plant them too close together, the cloves or the bulbs will not be as big as if you gave them a little more space. So I like to give them about 5 to 6 inches of space from plant to plant, and which is what I'm going to do here. This is a smaller space, so I might squeeze in a few more. I'll have smaller bulbs, but I'm cool with that. So I'm just gonna get them in to the soil and move on to the next step. I got everything planted with the exception of about 4 or 5 cloves, but there's one more thing I want to do before I water these guys in. Everybody needs a haircut. By cutting back the garlic planks by a few inches, I'm telling the plant to send all of its energy into root establishment and not into leaf growth. And the cuttings can go right into the compost. Time to water them in. Just going to throw in a little bit of those leaves from the other bed just as a light insulator. And a little extra organic matter, never hurt anybody. I'm going to call this done, mission accomplished. And there's absolutely no reason why you can't transplant garlic early in the spring and move it somewhere else, especially if, like me, you change your mind in the middle of winter and decide that you're going to do something else with the bed that you originally planted your garlic in. So I've moved it. I've kept it watered. That's the key, keeping it watered, letting it get established again. And then, like late May, early June, it'll start to form those curlicues that hardneck garlic forms. I'll cut those off and the plant will know to send all of its energy into forming that big juicy bulb that we love, and then harvest them sometime in like mid-July. So that's that. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll link to all my garlic videos below, and as well as my Amazon store where you can find all of the true organic fertilizers that I use in my garden. All right guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.